Namaste and greetings to you, my beautiful souls, beautiful queens. Today I will discuss two extremely important things with you. There will be no cards in this video. I will be talking and sharing some very important information with you. Unfortunately, I do not know anyone, literally anyone, who would not get at least once in a lifetime their relationship with a wrong man, with a wrong partner. What is a wrong partner? Unfortunately, any kind of abuse, any kind of neglect, any kind of manipulation can be applied in here. Narcissistic abuse, manipulation as hot, cold, closer, further, the carrot on a stick, a rock, silent treatment, withholding, withdrawing, silent punishment, psychological abuse, and mental abuse and emotional abuse is still abuse. Allow me repeat it again. Psychological abuse, mental abuse, and emotional abuse is still their abuse and still causes horrific effect onto your health, starting with your mental health, ending with your physical health, up to the point when you don't feel adequate anymore, especially if you have been dealing with a psychopathic tendencies person, a narcissistic, manipulative abuse. This is all abuse. So why? What happens? Why do we get into such relationship? Why is it happen? Of course there is karma, of course there is other thing, but I will not talk about esoteric right now. Unfortunately, women, when they are in wrong relationship, sometimes it's not even an abuser. So what makes us, what power makes us fall in love with someone and get into a relationship with someone who has tendency to make us suffer, who make us struggle, and sometimes they destroy us, dissolve us, like Sam Vaknin explains in his videos about narcissists. They are not there to break you, they are there to dissolve you like an acid, to destroy you. What is wrong with us? This is the question a lot of people ask. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not as severe, but sometimes it's the relationship where a man takes advantage of you. What it means, I already described the one called on a cross. The woman who is waiting for years or for a man. Not necessarily he is married, sometimes it's a married man. Sometimes it's just a man who comes whenever he is bored or needs emotional fulfillment or simply hungry. I had situations when I would ask the man, straight looking into his eyes, why do you waste her time? He would tell me, you won't believe that the kind of spinacopita she makes. Seriously, the man keeps the woman hoping that he would stay with her because she makes such a great spanakopita, and he cannot just tell her, listen, I'm just coming here to have your spanakopita and have sex with you. And it's all together. Emotional fulfillment. He feels better about himself. He eats spanakopita, has sex with her. But she keeps on waiting and hoping. So a man who is passing time, who is not there to stay with you, commit to you, but just using you, even if it's not as bad as if it was a narcissist or a psychopath. Why is it happening? Unfortunately, when we women get into the relationship like this, instead of going and finding yourself a good, kind, skilled therapist, a counselor, a psychotherapist, a psychologist, unfortunately, we go and start looking at, tarot readings. And tarot readings, I believe, can be very beneficial if it's a tarot reader which tells you the truth. Like on this channel, I'm trying to do that. If I get out your page of sword, I will tell you everything about that psychopathic person. But unfortunately, a lot of women have this one mistake. They hope that their love will change this man, or waiting for him will change him, or patience will change him, or whatever sacrifice. You would only think probably that it's your mentality. But I will tell you that it's not only mentality of Indian women to sacrifice themselves like in sati ritual. Husband dies, a woman has to go and burn with him. This happens, Slavic mentality, my own mentality, Slavic mentality, sacrifice for your man, sacrifice for love, sacrifice and I see Italian women doing it, I see Polish women doing it, I see Macedonian women doing it, I see all kinds of women doing this, no matter what land they are born. So the question, why we do it? Why do we do this? So the answer is the one I have already told you many times. The answer is the childhood. Your subconscious is unfortunately to blame. Why? What you know in your subconscious means / in your childhood. You recreate with the man you fall in love with. Allow me to repeat it again, please. The man you choose to love and to be with, this is how you recreate pretty much your childhood experience. Why? Because you don't know anything else. You recreate what you are familiar with. You fall in love with your mother, girls, who behaves like this man you fall in love with. There are psychologists which will tell you fall in love with your father. You recreate your relationship with the father with the man you fall in love with. This happens too. But most of the time, it's the role of a mother. You fall in love with your mother. And whatever your mother created in you, that pattern, you will recreate with your partner until you go into very, very long self-discovery, self-consciousness, go into therapy, start reading books, and you reprogram yourself until you see it's the matrix. What your mother, your parents had put into us, especially by age 4, 5, or 8, you will always recreate with the partner. So, for example, you got married with one really bad person who pressured you, who was a tyrant, who were devaluing you, who were absolutely cold and criticizing. You had a courage to get away from this relationship. What might happen next? The next partner you choose is going to be a replica of previous one, until you reprogram that pattern put into you in childhood. You fall in love with a man who can recreate you, your childhood, how you were treated in your childhood. Subconsciously, you will choose a man who will treat you the same way. This is why I want to show you this one book, which is called Will I Ever Be Good Enough? We choose the wrong man because we subconsciously believe. We don't even realize it very often, but we subconsciously believe that we are not good enough. This is also a big problem, because even women who do healing and read books and do all kinds of things, deep down there we still believe that we are not good enough. So if an absolutely wonderful, loving, giving, faithful man comes into our life, we will never choose him, because we believe we are not good enough for such a man, and second, we will recreate our childhood. This is why I want to recommend you this book, which you can get on Amazon and other places, which is called Will I Ever Be Good Enough? It was written by Dr. Carol McBride, a professor. So, in this book, you will find these steps for healing the daughters of narcissistic mothers. Unfortunately, this is such a widely spread case. Some of us are aware about that fact that we were brought up by narcissistic mother, but you won't believe how many of us have no clue. And it's just imprinted in us with burning, red, bleeding wounds. I am not good enough. And we are trying to prove our parents, our mothers, that we are good enough, but we unfortunately fail. And every time we fail, we prove. Every time we fail, we only prove our mothers that they were right. We are not good enough. We're good for nothing. Someone else is good. The daughter of Jane is good. She is a surgeon. The daughter of Mary is wonderful. She is a lawyer. Even if you were twice surgeon and twice lawyer, you still would not be good enough. And this turns in us the little button which called self-destruction. And getting into the wrong relationship is a way of self-destruction, unfortunately. Let me read the back of this book to you. The first book for daughters who have suffered the abuse of selfish, self-involved mothers. Will I Ever Be Good Enough? Provides the expert assistance you need in order to overcome the debilitating history and reclaim your life. Drawing on over 2 decades of experience as a therapist, specializing in women's health, and hundreds of interviews with suffering daughters, Dr. Carol McBride helps you recognize the widespread effects of the emotional abuse and create an individualized program for self-protection, resolution, and complete recovery. Narcissistic mothers teach their daughters that love is not unconditional. that it is given only when they behave in accordance with maternal expectations and whims. As adults, these daughters have difficulty overcoming feelings of inadequacy, disappointment, emotional emptiness, and sadness, let alone depressions and anxiety. They may also have a fear of abandonment that leads them to form unhealthy romantic relationships, as well as a tendency to perfectionism and unrelenting self-criticism, or to self-sabotage and frustration. Dr. Marbright's step-by-step program will enable you to: number one, recognize your own experience with maternal narcissism and its effect on all aspects of your life. Discover how you have internalized verbal and non-verbal messages from your mother and how these have translated into all overachievement of self-sabotage. 3. Construct and personalized program to take control of your life and enhance your sense of self, establishing healthy boundaries with your mother and breaking the legacy of abuse. My beautiful queens, this is so widely spread. The problem is that somehow, it hurts me, but somehow very little women actually take steps to overcome it and recover it. Most of the women, unfortunately, still hope that the sacrifice of their dreams, sacrifice of their dignity, sacrifice of self-value, sacrifice of self-respect, sacrifice of the things you want in life. Unfortunately, they believe that this can turn a man into giving, loving, cherishing person. No, it will not. If you manipulator starts by nipping at the end of your finger, seeing if you're gonna allow them to bite a piece of your finger. Then they're gonna bite half of it, then they're gonna bite all of it, then they're gonna bite and bite your arm off. You have to understand that manipulator will manipulate, a liar will lie, a cheater will cheat. Now there is widespread horror called global romance scam. There is a website called, there is a YouTube channel called Catfish, with hundreds and thousands of scammed women and men too, but mostly women, who are promised love with stolen photos of other people and who are getting scammed. Not only they lose the money, they lose trust forever and never to anyone. All of this comes from childhood. And I understand these things very well, especially the self-criticism, self-sabotage. So I wanted to tell you that there are resources out there for you to understand and recognize why you choose not the man who will be able to give you joy and happiness and committed relationship, but you keep on choosing the wrong man because you subconsciously only choose what you know. You haven't received from your parents unconditional love. Love was given to you conditionally. If you have good grades, if you do what you are being told, if you or don't object, if you're just like a machine, you do what they tell you, you're a good girl. You suppress all your wishes, emotions, and needs, you're a good girl. Otherwise, you're a bad girl. Please remember and please understand, you don't belong to your parents. You are not property of your parents. You are not a slave of your parents. Your parents helped you to get your physical body. But unfortunately, many of them failed to give you unconditional love. And this is why you're not capable to give yourself unconditional love. And this is why you choose this kind of men subconsciously, which are not capable to give you unconditional love or love at all. When I see people stop watching videos with the cards, I rejoice. Because when you stop watching videos with the names, does he think about me? Does he miss me? What he's gonna do? It means you are with the wrong man. When you stop watching videos, what is he thinking? Is he missing me? It means that you are now on the right path. You can find this book. You can find countless of other books as well as I love the Susan Forward Toxic Parents and her other books. This is one of them, because until we start taking steps in getting the life we want, unfortunately, no one can give us the life we want but us. This is the big problem. Nobody can give us the love we want unless we ourselves take steps towards the life we want. Even if you find a man of your dream, don't dissolve in him. Don't make a man a center of your universe. Life is unpredictable. Even the best of men, 10 years later, can fall in love with another woman, can leave this world, or something else can happen. You always need to have your own life, whether you are married or living together or not. Whether you have a man or not, you always have to have your own life, your own interest, your own work, your own income. Keep on growing as a person, as a soul, as a person, as a personality, as a soul. Keep on developing and growing. This way, a man next to you will be always thrilled to be with you, because you're going to be constantly changing, unless it's a narcissist. Narcissist or psychopath, he will do everything for you not to change. He will want you to stay at the same exact way you have always been, because he like screenshot you and put a screenshot of you in his head, and then he communicates with a screenshot. When you and screenshot are the same, then he is fine. When you start evolving, changing, which normal people always do, he panics and starts devaluing you, and then he's going to discard you and replace you. For all of this, Sam Vaknin explained this the best. But for you to stop the pattern of wrong men, or the risk of getting involved with the wrong man, what do I mean wrong man? Who will make you suffer, not happy. Please get into the information of this kind. Get yourself a good, skilled counselor, psychologist, psychotherapist, therapist, and reprogram, or read books like this that she gives the steps, and reprogram your childhood patterns so you can stop this trauma on you, not giving it to your children. Because another very sad truth is we give our traumas and wounds to our children. We do it again subconsciously. They inherit our traumas. They inherit our wounds. So if you don't want them to inherit them, then you need to that this needs to stop at you. This is all, my beautiful souls. I hope this video was helpful for at least some of you. And I am wishing you all the best. We'll talk to you soon. Namaste.